you go.
So, welcome to Bonehead Weekly, Miss Lisa London. I am so excited that we've got you on here. Not only because we've got some questions we're going to ask you that I bet most people who do this don't ask you because you have got the
Oh, I
ones that are
like that.
we're deep in the weeds.
Cool.
But I to go ahead and get started, you're in so many movies, and the thing is, as I was going back over your filmography, you're
Uh-huh.
busier now than you've ever been.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the most amazing thing to me. Now, when I first started, I was actually really crazy busy. I had
Yeah.
amazing beginner's luck, and I've been in some movies that are like iconic in every sense of the word, worked with people that are like at the top when they were at the top of their game, blah, blah, blah. But what I count as my biggest blessing is that I'm able to roll with the punches and keep rising to challenges of changing times and because this business is changing rapidly, but
Right.
it always has been, and I've always just gone with it, and I'm just blessed beyond belief to be working like crazy. I know it's also because I have great genes, but I have a theory it's because I haven't done anything to myself. So people know who I am without trying to figure it out, if
Well,
you know what I mean, in this crazy world.
I
And the other
absolutely.
thing is I've worked my tail off to make things look easy, but I've always worked at, bettering my craft and keeping my body and my brain and my face looking great and ready for anything.
And you do look wonderful, but have you seen this in a long
Thank
time?
you.
Do you see this? Invasion of the
I
B-girls?
actually, yes, because that is something that people are really, really curious about. And it was so ahead of its time. I mean, this
Yes.
is way before hashtag Me Too. And you have all these girls that were starlets and actresses in, a very misogynist world in that time. Now, and when I say misogynist, I love men and men love me. Some of like the most incredible humans in my life have been my male mentors and boyfriends and best friends, and my brother and my father and my grandfather and my husband.
Yeah.
But it's been very lopsided, and it's getting better. It's getting better, but it's still very lopsided. Sorry, it is.
No, absolutely. And oddly enough, we've tried to get Jewel to do the show so many times, and I do a horror convention. You may have heard it, Scarefest. It's in Lexington, Kentucky, Scarefest weekend. It's
Oh,
probably
I want to be in that. I want to
everyone
come to
does. You know
that.
why? Because the biggest horror convention now in the world is in Lexington, Kentucky, and you're actually talking to the guy that does the main stage. I'm the moderator for the
Okay,
side
I
interviews.
want to do it. I want to do it. I'll get you so many gorgeous scream queens from Brink Stevens to Michelle Bauer, who I just worked with. I'm sure they'd love to do this thing.
Well, and I'm not the owner, but it's definitely something I want to pitch as we go
Okay,
along.
cool.
Go
Well, we're in
along.
a movie. We are in a movie together, starring together for the first time, written, directed, and also co-starring Jennifer Moriarty, this unbelievably talented, gorgeous creature who put this thing together, Mary Day and the Scream Queens, and
Uh-huh.
her stunning daughter makes her debut in this, and it is going to rock the world. It really is, because it's not just a horror film. It's about the journey of a beautiful woman and the demons that pop up as she ages, and it's really good, and I'm so excited for the world to see it. And I think we should figure out how to get us to Kentucky. That's all I can say.
Hey, if I wrote the checks, but believe it or not, I'm one of the paid help. But I do have the best side gig on earth, as you can imagine. Now,
Absolutely.
I do have two questions for you, and they
Okay.
are somewhat, you've probably been asked before, but the first one is you're the first person we've had Oscar winners on here, we've had Emmy Award winners on here. You're the first one that I've ever known who won the Bob Hope Classic Girl.
I know. And you know what's so funny about that? My father was a big sportscaster, and everyone thought
Yeah,
I got that because my dad did it. But
Jerry
no,
London, correct?
Yes, exactly. And he was the first announcer ever for Angels baseball. Gene Autry was a good friend.
Yeah.
And then Bob Hope was a best friend. My dad did the Bob Hope Classic for CBS International Radio for like 30 years. And when I was in high school, I actually covered huge tennis tournaments and all sorts of sports things because I was really good at it. That was actually my major in college too, it turned out to be. But all I ever wanted to do is act. But I thought it'd be such a cool thing if I could be one of the Bob Hope Classic girls. And there's three. It's Bob, Hope, and Classic. And the funniest thing too was the first person that I met and had to pose with when I got to the opening day was Bill Cosby.
Oh.
And no, I didn't let him buy me a drink.
No, I'm not going to make a joke, but I mean, there's several pudding pop jokes and
I know,
whatnot.
but this is the first time I've ever disclosed this because I haven't really gone that much into talking about that. But yeah, I was that, and then I was also Junior Miss Palm Springs, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of cool. But I haven't won. Well, I'm in an Oscar-winning episode, not Oscar, sorry, Emmy-winning episode. I'm in the final season of the morning show, Apple TV Plus, and it won
Yeah.
the Emmy, and I have a fabulous, fabulous role in that. And yeah, pretty proud of that. Directed by the one and only amazing Mimi Leader, one of the best female directors to ever live. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, she's made a couple of really good action films. I'm trying to
Oh
remember the
my
one with
God,
George
yeah, she
Clooney from
has.
the 90s
Yeah,
where yeah, yeah,
yeah, the
yeah. The
Peacemaker, the
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker,
Yes,
and
yes.
then the other one, Deep Impact.
Deep
Yeah.
Impact, absolutely. They came out the same time as yeah, yeah, yeah. But before now, the second question I have, and you kind of already
Uh-huh.
answered it right then, because you're so known for your singing. You're a member of the Pinups, which is
Yes.
a singing group. So I was just
Yes.
curious, which one gives you the most joy? If it's act, I mean, because entertainment's entertainment, right? When people ask me about my
Absolutely.
side gig, I
Absolutely.
always say
Absolutely.
this job is really when you especially do what I do, you get the crowd ready. It's kind of like a fluffer, right? You
Yes.
get them ready and then you make
Yes.
them look good once you get up there. So they're all in a good mood by the time you take
Yes.
the stage. So, as an entertainer, do
Yes.
you prefer acting or do you prefer singing or are they just
I'm
intertwined?
I'm an actress. I'm an actor who can sing, not the other way around.
Okay.
I've always loved singing, and it was insane. It was like the first thing I ever auditioned for, and it was a major international record deal. So, I mean, we made history. We were the first group
Yeah.
ever to appear on national TV in lingerie before Madonna,
Hmm.
and we had some great songs too. We were really good. But no, no, no. I love singing. I'm actually singing on a couple of movies. Bigfoot or Bust that I'm in. I have a song on that that I do with the fabulous Becky LeBeau. She brought me in to be a part of one of the songs on the soundtrack,
That's
and
awesome.
also I the Naked Cage. I sing in that, which is amazing. But no, acting is my that's my ticket, my e-ticket.
All right. James is going to ask you a question I guarantee you've never been asked. Well, hold on. I shouldn't guarantee it because every time we do, but
But
James.
oh, I gotta just tell you, I have such an insane great memory that I'm probably the only person that if it's like something that you've only been asked once, I remember everything. But I'll be very honest.
That's okay.
Hit me, hit me with your best shot, as Pat Benatar would say.
Absolutely. Fire
Well,
away.
so Joe talks about his side gig. I actually am a professor, and one of the courses that I teach is the history of college in
Oh
film.
wow.
And you are in a film that I discussed that I must admit I haven't been able to find a copy of, but you're in HOTS.
I sure am. I star in
I would say
it.
you are, yes, you are, I believe,
Well,
second build.
okay, so it's everywhere actually. People, it's so funny though. Every once in a while, people tell me they can't find it, but there's definitely places. If you go online, it might be a little bit of a I don't think it's on TV right now, but it has been a lot over the decades. And I personally don't have a copy of anything I've ever done, except if fans send me stuff. I've never kept anything from my modeling career, from my acting, from my singing. It's
You didn't
crazy.
keep any of the clothes or any of that stuff?
Okay, yes, I keep the clothes.
I was about to say you would be the, no offense. This doesn't, once again, do not mean to sound, but you'd be the first actor, actress, I don't care, singer who told me
Oh,
that they didn't keep props,
oh yeah,
clothes, something.
I have not props so much, but clothes, yes, definitely. And there's certain photos that now with digital everything that I made sure I have copies
Yeah.
of now, which is great. But yes, Hots was pretty amazing. It was also one of the first movies of its kind. And it's so funny because it's so tame if you watch it now. And it was considered so risque because we were topless. Ooh.
Well, and one of the things that's interesting, and the reason I use it as an example in my class is Animal House came out in 78. I believe it came out in 79.
Yes, it's the
But
female version of Animal House. That's exactly what it was. And it was a huge, I mean, when it was first released, it was huge. And it's still a cult classic. I mean,
Yeah.
film historians do love and appreciate it. And it was kind of amazing. It was the very first script. I had never seen a script. And when I auditioned for it, I started changing my voice and playing the other characters. And there was a gorgeous woman who wrote it named Sherry Cafaro. And it was a room full of like 10 men, Sherry and me doing the audition. And she said, "Gentlemen, can you give me a second? I'm going to take Lisa outside just for a second." She takes me outside and she goes, "Sweetheart, we don't want to confuse these men. Just read the role of O'Hara. You're perfect for her."
well,
And I got it.
I was gonna say, and you brought up actually one of the things, and the reason I bring it up in my class is the screenwriters were women.
Yes.
And you talked about the misogyny that kind of existed during that time, and Animal House
Yes.
definitely had male screenwriters. It's really an interesting film because it's written. You could argue for definitely the male gaze, as you mentioned.
Yes, but we had all the power. The girls had
Yeah,
all the power. And I've been so blessed. My career has been like that always. I've also done a bunch of Andy Sedaris films, and his wife, Arlene Sedaris, was always the producer. And I got to play like the total, badass DEA agent and beat guys up. I mean, they really flipped the the they flipped the script totally. And I was always so blessed to get things that were very empowering. I mean, even when I did the Clint Eastwood movie and I played this young hooker,
Had an
uh,
impact. Yeah.
yeah, with Clint Eastwood, he set it up that I mean, the whole scene was a close up on my face. Once it's established that I'm obviously this prostitute in this hotel room, he did this amazing thing to give me, this young actress, my first dramatic role, a chance to absolutely shine. And the scene became all about me and my face, basically. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. I've had a lot of incredible things like that. I'm working with this amazing director the last, almost a decade now, Gregory Hatanaka, and he always gives me these huge roles of power, as does Dustin Ferguson, another fabulous lower budget director that I'm so blessed to work with. And even when I get cast as something that is, quote unquote, the babe, or it could be sexually just construed as, eye candy or whatever, I always have something in there of substance and some point to make, which is, I think, very profound. And I, I'm very lucky that way.
well, I just wanted to ask about Hots because it's very rare that I get to, I teach some of this film history as it applies to college, and it's very rare I get to talk to somebody about that. So I wanted to let you know that for the past 3 years, I have recommended, just simply because it is such a rarity, especially in the 1970s, to have a script written by women set on a college campus because everybody tried to imitate Animal House
Yes.
with that type of humor. Whereas, like you said, there was this empowerment. I haven't watched the full film, but I've seen the trailer, and it very much is women centered. Even the trailer is women
Yes.
centered, and it's they're pulling the dean's the antagonist in Animal House, but it's pretty obvious they're pulling one over on everybody, and they are
Yes.
in control.
Yes, absolutely. And I am just absolutely honored that something I did. This is why I love this profession so much. It is
Yeah.
the most noble profession when it clicks, when it works. And it's all about the timing and how you how you bring a dialogue to everyone, and everyone wants to discuss it and talk about it however way you get there in a film, whether it's a comedy, a drama, a thriller, a horror movie. It's just a really wonderful thing to be a part of, and I'm absolutely honored that that you deemed something I'm in worthy of an exemplary way to shine in a film. I love it.
Lisa, do not give him any more compliments. His head is already big enough. We already call him Dr. Jerkface because he's an actual PhD doctor. We will all work in higher ed for our day jobs. Don't. He sucks. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, I'll zip it up. No more
Tell
compliments.
tell tell Four Eyes to shut the hell up. Now, so we've had him on the show. We've heard good. We've heard bad. We've met him,
All you're missing is good, bad, and ugly.
which is behind me. Which is about you're talking about Eastwood. You can see right here is the good, the bad,
Yes,
and the ugly.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Okay, who are we talking
Jim
about here?
Wynorski.
Oh, oh my God.
I want your best Jim Wynorski story, please. And by the way, we have them too. We'd be more than happy to share off air, but you go ahead. Your best one.
My best Jim Wynorski story is the fact, first of all, that he and I never met back in the day, ever.
You
I never
didn't
did.
meet any
No,
time during the 80s.
no,
I mean,
I didn't.
because
I
it's not
didn't.
like you weren't working with some of the same people. Like,
Exactly, but what happened with me was I bounced between low budget and super A projects so much
yeah,
that
you're in
I
Dragnet, amazing story. I'm sorry, I could go on and on.
I know you can, please do, but no, I know what you're saying. So because of that, there were certain people that I didn't audition for because I mean, I do remember my agents wanting me to read for a Jim Wynorski film, and 2 days later, I think I got. Oh God, I think I got some series with Jackie Mason and Lynn Redgrave, the role. So I didn't even go on the audition. So things like that. But anyway, I met Jim because of Becky LeBeau, who's one of my
Uh-huh.
best friends, and she's worked with him a lot. And she was producing a movie called Bigfoot or Bust. And when I first was hired by Jim, it was this teeny tiny, I think like one line or something, and it became one of the lead roles, which was fabulous and just yeah, it was really incredible. And what was incredible about it was there was no script. The entire script was improv in the sense that he would set up certain things that had to be come out as a plot,
Yeah.
and then he'd give us a few key words to say, and then we all ran with it. So it was a pretty amazing experience, and I think I'm going to be doing another one for him soon. I'm not going to say anything except that it is based on political things happening right now.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What could be political that's happening in the United States in the last 20
That's
years?
all I'm going to say. And it's not going to shoot till September. But yeah, I've done quite a few movies for Jim now, and they've all been an absolute blast. And he has written some incredible roles for me, just really smart, fun, sexy. And he loves his women to look gorgeous always. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky DeMarco. I'm sorry, we could just go down the list as far as the regular gym people. So, my next question while James gets his ready. This is so hard, but I just can't leave this alone without. I know you played a lot of hookers in your movies, but can you just tell me about working with either Phil Silvers or Adam West? I know
Uh,
you probably get that all the time. I'm sorry, but it's so hard
okay.
to find somebody that spent time with Phil Silvers.
Okay, it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life for so many reasons. Number one, my mother was drop dead gorgeous and looked exactly like Rita Hayworth. I mean, I look like
Uh-huh.
my mom, but I've got my dad's blue eyes, and my mom really, she had brown eyes and red hair, and she really looked like Rita Hayworth. So when he started calling me Rusty, because that was Rita Hayworth's name, I
Uh-huh.
guess, in a movie, I was just blown away. And when he told me I had an amazing gift for comedy, it was incredible.
Oh,
And then I have the funniest story. So it turned out to be actually a really wonderful, entertaining film. But you got to remember, I'm this young actress, and there was uh, some critique of it, or something uh, that came out because the movie wasn't out yet. I'm trying to figure out why someone said something. Oh, I know what it was. Something about Canon Films and how, this isn't going to be a very great movie and blah blah blah. Just like putting down just the genre of what it was or something. I can't remember what it was, but he found me crying in my dressing room because I was so upset. I thought it was going to be such a great film and I had a starring role and I was working with these incredible actors. And he said, "Look, kid, nobody ever set out to make a bad movie. Sometimes it just happens. And then it maybe doesn't happen because someone's bad movie is someone else's favorite movie." And I will never forget that. Never. And, and I have a great Adam West story. So Chris Lemmon was also cast in the movie.
Yeah.
And every time Adam would go by, we were little brats and we'd go, do 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 Batman. And Adam never was like, okay, go away. He would always just stop and then tell us stories. It was wonderful.
So he wasn't a jerk at all.
Not at all. Just an angel. Just a great, great, great guy.
Because you had to be in your late teens, and that had to be extremely annoying to someone who every day of his life heard one Batman joke after another.
I know. But
now that you're in your 30s looking back at it.
I love you. And you know what? I actually love the fact that I'm not in my 20s or 30s anymore. They were fabulous, fabulous times, but I've so come into my own about being an actor now.
Yep.
That I really love not being so upset every time I would see myself on film. I would get so upset if things, oh God, I didn't do that right. I could have done that so much better. And those moments are few and far between now.
Well, that's true for all of us, especially now that
right? I
that's
know.
true. It's just as you get older, you just like, oh, you're give a damn. Just
Yeah,
you know who
absolutely.
you are, and you just
Exactly.
don't give a damn.
Exactly.
Who cares?
You're right.
Who cares?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I got off. James, did you have a quick question? And then I'll come back to another one. Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah. I have one question, and you had a part in this film, but I've got to ask because he's one of my growing up. He was one of my all-time favorite people. You're in the movie The Godson, which has Rodney
Oh, yes.
Dangerfield
Oh,
and
yes.
and Dom DeLuise, and Dom DeLuise is still one of my favorite. So I just had to ask, do you have any stories about The Godson? I know most people
I have
may not
wonderful
have seen it.
stories. First of all, that's another incredible role for me where I just got to work with, I mean, between Rodney Dangerfield and Dom DeLuise, it was insane. It was cast by the fabulous Craig Campobasso, who's cast me in quite a few things, including an amazing stories that I did for Spielberg that Burt Reynolds directed me, and I worked again with Dom. So I've worked with Dom twice. I actually had dinner with him and his sons and his fabulous wife a couple of times, and it wasn't. I don't even know what I did. It was just both he and Rodney were so wonderful and so loving of me too, like giving me the opportunity to be great with them, that it was effortless. It was just like, and the writing was so good in that thing. It's wonderful. But Rodney was very, very ill at that point, and he was often like not in a very good mood. Except with me, he was always in a great mood. And there's a wonderful part of it where I can't get the door open because he wasn't supposed to be up against the door, but he was. So I literally come stumbling into the scene, which is quite an entrance, and I love it more than anything. And then with Dom, what was so wonderful about him was um, I'm supposed to be startled by a gunshot in the movie, and he set it up so that I was almost like whispering in the beginning, and so then when I explode finally in fear and craziness, it's just extra special because of the way he set it up.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to being directed by Burt Reynolds, because I wanted to ask you about Amazing Stories, which was a big show at the time. And unfortunately, I feel like that's one that's that's and another generation is going to just be forgotten, right? It's not like the Twilight Zone, but there were so many great episodes of that, and that's a
That's
great
right.
one where you worked with.
I was in two different ones of that too.
Yeah, can you talk about your experiences working on Amazing Stories?
Yes. First of all, it was so cool because Spielberg did come to the set both times I
Yeah,
did the show. And I think I might be one of very few actors that did two episodes, I
right.
think, too. I don't know. I haven't ever checked that out,
I
but I have a
don't know
feeling
of
I'm
any
right.
others, but it only
And
lasted 2 seasons, so you have a good shot.
yeah, and but it was Universal, which was outrageous, and that's where I did Dragnet too. It's like my favorite studio, or
Uh-huh.
although I love Warner Brothers too. But so yeah, what was so great about that was when I mean TV has its own specialness about it because it is just it's just a horse of another name where there's so much money and so much
Hmm.
slick effort always involved no matter what TV show I've ever done. It's fabulous.
Yeah, so really quick, you talked a little bit about, but Dragnet is one of those movies that I think still holds up. I
Oh,
rewatched it
I
a
do
while
too.
back, and
Too.
it's hilarious. Everything Dabney Coleman does is
Yes.
comedy gold.
And Christopher Plummer. Oh
And
my
Christopher
God.
Plummer,
And
I
Dan
mean,
Aykroyd
and
and
Dan
Tom
Aykroyd.
Hanks and Elizabeth Ashley. I mean, and being told by Dabney Coleman that he goes, never abandon comedy. You're so good at it. It's harder than
Yes.
drama. So yeah, he said that. And also I sing in Dragnet too. And they hired me and said, you're a great singer. We want you to do this funny. So that's how I came up with singing it like Marilyn Monroe saying happy birthday to JFK.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. Can you talk, do you have a really good story about on the set or any of your experiences? Other than being told by Dabney Coleman never give up comedy?
Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. And it was just it was incredible because I also got to work with my best girlfriends, Ava Fabian and Donna Spear at the time, which was like amazing. And I met Lisa Aleph on that, who I ended up being friends with for a long time. She moved away, but she's another. I mean, just the acting and all the girls were so good. I can't even tell you. And it actually screened at the real Playboy Mansion too. I got to see myself do that, which was pretty amazing.
That's cool. I mean, because literally he's doing some jacked up impersonation of Hefner.
Totally.
Like
That's I was a bait mate instead of a
bait mate. I
playmate.
was about to say, yeah, you were a bait mate, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's clearly just it's not even that far removed.
I know. I know. And what was wonderful too, I actually was never a playmate. I was in the sex and
Uh-huh.
cinema section of Playboy a few times, but I didn't do Playboy because when I first got to Hollywood, they said that if you did something like that, you wouldn't be treated seriously as an actress, which we all know all of that's nonsense now, but that was how it was then. But I have so many best girlfriends that were playmates, and it was just I also starred in Playboy's Private Party Jokes
Yep.
that was on the Playboy channel. Then HBO picked it up for a while, and that was an incredible experience because I worked with some of the greatest character actors in the world on that. And that was all the jokes of Playboy brought to life, and talk about laughing every day and getting paid for it.
That's fantastic. All right, so I know I promised that we'd wrap up as quickly as we could. We're a little over 30 minutes now. James, do you have one last question? And then I have one last question.
I
James?
do, and it's a real quick question. You were in the film Quarantine Girl, which was made during COVID,
Yes.
and I find that so fascinating because I think that's one of the things that there's an entire genre of movies people are going to be able to look back on about how did movies survive during COVID, and so I just wanted to know if you could speak about how that came to be and kind of 'cause
I
I
would
think that
love
movie's
to.
going to be looked at really interestingly as an, if nothing else, quote unquote, an
Uh,
artifact of how things
yes.
worked.
I know it's history. I mean, it is our talk about sign of the times. I think we were probably one of the first films to come out about it. I'm so proud of my work in that. It's Gregory Hatanaka, and he's in partnership with this gorgeous actress, writer, producer, director named Nicole D'Angelo. So they came up with this before anyone figured out how to do it safely,
Hmm.
how to do anything. They they found out what all the protocols for safety would have to be about the masks and this and the that. And then they figured out a way to shoot most of it completely isolated. Like we did a bunch of scenes in our own homes. And then we met at a studio where no one was in the room. I play a broadcaster who's got a secret life as a dominatrix. So all the dominatrix stuff I did at my home, and the broadcaster, it was so great using, you know, my chops as a
as a
music
broadcaster
teacher.
yourself,
Yeah.
as a singer.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that was really, really fun. But it was unbelievable how we did it. And I'm so proud of that movie, and I think everyone should watch it. It's incredible. It's all my movies, by the way, are on Amazon Prime and Tubi. All my current ones now for streaming, and then all my other ones you can get on, like, everything from Netflix to Amazon Prime to everything too. Just punch in my name and ask away.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, please check it out. Not only is
Thank
she
you.
a wonderful beauty, but you do have a lot of funny scenes through a lot of wonderful movies and some really good
Thank
tragedy. I
you.
mean,
And a lot of hardcore good drama ones too.
I mean, you're on an episode of SVU.
I know, a great episode. Oh gosh, I just went to the celebration of life for the incredible Ted Kotcheff, who, what a career. He started off, he was a top director and then became the producer of, I don't know if it's still the case, but it's one of the most popular and most watched and top rated shows in history. And they don't usually hire LA actresses. And he saw me in a play and promised me a role. And I ended up getting that fabulous co star role in that. Yeah, so the episode is Baggage.
I have a story to tell you that Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman told me because he directed Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes, one of the greatest comedies of all time. And then North Dallas 40. I'm sorry, one of the greatest football movies ever.
Yeah, that is one of the top ones. So here's my last question as we go, because you have had so much luck, and that now that you're working more than ever, and we're so happy for you, and I'm glad things are going great. But who is the one person, the one star that just starstruck? Like, this was, I can't believe I'm meeting and I'm being with this person right now. Who's the most?
Oh gosh. There's so many, but
there are. It's tough.
I'm going to tell you the first time, because I was raised around celebrities. My grandfather was best friends with Sinatra. Bob Hope was at our house all the time, blah, blah, blah. My very first boyfriend that I had a real date with was Joe Namath. So yeah, I wasn't usually starstruck.
Oh, by the way, I have a story about that too. Keep going.
Okay. But the first time I could not speak was I had a huge modeling job as the Camel GT girl, you know, the Camel race cart. And Paul Newman, I had to be in a car and go around the track with him. I literally couldn't speak. He was so gorgeous, and I was so smitten by him. Yeah.
Looking at those blue eyes, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm sitting right next to Cool Hand Luke and HUD." Which HUD is my favorite. Paul.
Oh God. Well, also, I'm sorry, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I mean,
it's good.
I can't squeeze them all in.
But I love watching him play a bastard, actually. So.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
Lisa, thank you so much for this time. Would love to have you back so much. I would
try
to get you to Kentucky. Again. I will try to. Hopefully, this wasn't as bad as you will think. So let's give it up. Check out our movies. Thank you all so much.
And make sure you tag me on everything.
Don't you worry.
It's Lisa London LA on Instagram and Lisa London. On Facebook.
All right. Thank you.